Morning, Sue. How are you today?
Good, thank you, Jo. I am actually sitting at my desk with my cup of tea because I've been for a morning run and I thought I'd just have breakfast at my desk. Oh, you've got yours as well. Is that tea or coffee?
Cheers. My cup of green tea. Actually, it's a pot of green tea. How beautiful is this? Look.
I love it. Oh my gosh. So
yeah.
you've had exercise classes this morning, haven't you? Have you had clients online?
Yep, I've done the men class and the lady class. So I've been exercising for a good 2 hours this morning. So yeah, all good, all good.
So we're ready to rock and roll.
We are ready to rock and roll. So this is day 10 of lockdown with Jo and Sue from Pods with Posh and Paul. And today we are talking about fun. Fun Friday.
We like this topic because we love having fun, don't we, Jo?
Well, we do love having fun. And when we were researching fun, one of the things that came up, wasn't it, Sue, that it's good to inject fun in just to everyday life. And that makes perfect sense, really, because I have never felt so great about working as I do now with Sue, because we are just total goofballs. We can literally laugh. And the other day we were trying to move some furniture around. We were moving this plant. The plant was stuck in my head. Sue just didn't really think what she was doing, shoved it in my head. We were guffawing for ages. We literally couldn't move for laughing. And then we started taking pictures of this plant in my head. And it may sound ridiculous to some people, but we just laughed and laughed and laughed, didn't we, Sue?
We did. We can also be very serious, though, because we were on an online class the other day, weren't we? We were trying to learn something. We didn't learn very much, but I could see you at the top of the Zoom call with all the other people that were there. And I have to say, I didn't get that much out of it. I think everybody else did, but I got bored. And what it triggered me into was that I need to have fun when I'm doing things as well. And if I don't have fun, I go into a rebellious streak. And I think you were sitting there, weren't you, with your pencil like this? As a mistake. Yeah. And we just had fun. But actually, you know, children have fun, don't they? Children have fun all the time. And we kind of convert from being a child into an adult state. And we then think about, got to lose weight, got to have an exercise program, what does my work schedule look like, got to get housework done. And we kind of go into these activities, whereas actually we can also revert to our childlike state and have fun. And there's so much evidence, isn't there, of the positivity of having fun. So much.
It's really good for our psychological and physical well-being. I think if we have more fun, more laughter, as you said, it releases endorphins. We talked about this yesterday on the show, all these happy hormones when we have laughter. And whenever we inject those hormones, they're helping our immune system, they're boosting our immune system. You know, everything's working great in our bodies when we have laughter and fun injected into our life. And it makes everything a little bit lighthearted. And I was reading today as well, it's also a buffer for coping with stress.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Because stress releases cortisol, doesn't it? And cortisol is the chemical in our body, which is the fight or flight response. And so, of course, cortisol is going to reduce the immune system. It's going to worsen our sleep patterns. It's going to cause anxiety. So the more we have fun, the more we reduce those levels of cortisol. And not only that, but we're increasing the levels of serotonin. And serotonin is the sleep hormone, happy hormone. And so it's a double-edged sword. We're reducing one negative chemical that we don't really need in our body and improving on the other. So having fun also, as you say, it's a physiological thing as well as a mental thing, isn't it?
It is. It's totally, it's good for our overall well-being, mind, body and soul.
Yeah.
Just like ways to inject fun, like, I don't know about you, but if I'm going to do the housework, which, let's face it, housework generally sucks. There's some parts of housework that we don't like doing. I put on loud music, I'll dance around, I'll maybe make myself some challenges. You know, I think if I'm going to mop the floors, right, this is going to be a bit of exercise. I scrub and scrub and scrub till my heart's content. You know, I'm not one of them sloppy moppers. I'm a scrubber. And if I'm in the shower, like scrubbing the shower, I'm dancing, I'm being a goofball, because otherwise it's dull as dishwater.
Yeah, and I think you have to make those adult everyday activities into fun. And I've done the same. You know, I've put stilettos on and a really short skirt, put the music on really loud and danced around hoovering the house, pretending I was dancing with the hoover. That was my dance partner in the absence of. But you can have fun, you can create fun. But we also are very good as adults and parents and workers that are kind of rushing around the whole time. We're good at creating stress for ourselves, and we don't always need to do that. It's a mind conversion, isn't it? So again, it's being aware. You and I talk about awareness the whole time. We need to be aware of what we're doing. We need to be aware of where we're at. And then when we're aware, we can actually create change. And creating change is a choice that we have. We can create a happy atmosphere, we can create fun, or we can just create stress. And I'm very good at doing both, I have to say. I mean, I am extremely rebellious. I think you are too. And I've just discovered over the last few days of watching these online talks and wanting to have fun and wanting to push boundaries is that I think my rebellious streak is wanting to go back to that childlike state.
Well, also, you know, like, when a child wakes up in the morning, every day is an adventure for them. They don't know what the day's going to bring, really. They're kind of lost in their own little world. What a great place to be, to have an adventure every day. And, I mean, there's no better sound than the sound of children giggling, is there?
It's lovely.
It fills your heart with joy, and then it makes you laugh.
It does. And do you know, I mean, I know you're big on exercise, but do you realise that if you laugh for 10 to 15 minutes a day, you burn 40 calories?
Well, we must burn a heck of a lot of calories then, because we're forever laughing at each other.
And also, you know, laughter is something that has no language. We can laugh with anybody without language, can't we?
We can.
A child age 6 laughs 3 times more than the average adult.
Oh,
that's really bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Laughing reduces the risk of heart disease. It brings more oxygen to your lungs. And as you said earlier, it reduces pain and prevents infection. Amazing.
Absolutely. So it's got all of these amazing, amazing benefits. So therefore, why wouldn't you want to do it? And, you know, let's face it, life can be pretty serious at times. There's pretty serious things happening all the time. And we go on and on and on about this, Sue, but even in our times of adversity, even in our times of struggle, in times of deep grief and heartache, we've still both managed to find laughter and joy and hope. And that's all we're trying to offer other people as well, isn't it? Showing them that there is another way to cope with life.
Absolutely. And of course, right now we're on lockdown in New Zealand. I was listening to a psychologist, I think you sent me the talk earlier, and the psychologist was saying we shouldn't really talk about it as lockdown. We should be careful about our language. We should just call it self-isolation. Whatever language we use, we're all, or most of us around the world, are in our homes for a period of time. And to be positive about that in the sense that we are saving lives, we're benefiting the planet, we're supporting each other, we're working as a team, we're working with a community common goal. And again, it's how we choose to interpret lockdown. Oh, we're shut away. Oh, we can't go to work. Oh, we can't go and exercise. Oh, we can't go to the beach. And actually, again, it's changing the vocabulary we use. And then we have a positive mindset from where we can have a sense of fun, I think, as well. So be careful about the words we use during lockdown. Can we turn lockdown into something that is creative and that is fun? Because for a lot of us, we're not having to go to work every day. We're in our homes and we can create a playful, fun place to be. And I know many of our listeners have got young children at home. Ours, Joe's and mine, are slightly older, so they're a bit more independent, self-sufficient. But for those of you that have got younger children, Joe and I talked in one of our podcasts about having strategy and planning, goal setting your lockdown period. So create those goals for your children and build into that strategy fun times, because you can have your structure. Let's come out of pajama time. Let's do a few jobs around the house. Now let's have play and structure playtime into your calendar.
Absolutely. And there's tons of ways to have fun. You know, we had a Connect 4 battle the other night and it was hilarious. Then we played cards one night. We've been watching Twilight movies, which perhaps are not that much fun, but we've all been sitting together and then chatting away while the movie's on. So it brings us together and we end up having fun anyway. As I say, when we're all hitting the decks to do jobs, we put some music on. They're all really, really bad singers, but oh my goodness, singing brings us so much joy and it's so fun. Mainly because we're laughing at each other. No, not really. But belt it out with no inhibitions. It's fun. It's a great thing to do. Whatever you wish. You know, I've got a hula hoop. Sometimes I do the hula hoop. I was doing the hula hoop when I was 4 years old. If I had a pair of roller boots, I'd go out on my roller boots too, quite frankly, because that would be fun.
Dancing.
Dancing is the best.
Put on some music. And actually, if you can't sing and you can't dance, put the music on and just do it anyway, because it's the music that takes you away, isn't it? The music creates those feelings inside that enlightens something, whether it's a passion, a desire. Once the music is on, I mean, you posted something this morning on Facebook and it was amazing dancing. And there was John Travolta there, Olivia Newton-John, it was Grease. And it made me want to watch Grease again. That was extraordinary at its time, wasn't it? For the music and the dance, for inspiring people in a new form of dance and movement. It was mind-blowing. I'm going to watch it tonight, I think.
Well, do you know what? Well, it was a compilation, wasn't it? Somebody had edited all of these different dance things from different movies and put it together in one song. So there's Flashdance and Footloose and Grease and, oh, I don't know, even the Penguin one, whatever that is, Happy Feet. There was tons and tons of them, and Fred Astaire and whatever, and it was so well edited. But you're right, what it made me want to do is it made me want to watch dance movies, and oh my goodness, because they're so inspiring as well, watching people do them really funky moves. So that's why I wrote on it. When I posted on Facebook, I said, if you don't like this, sorry, but you can't be my friend anymore.
Did you get many people defriend you?
I don't know, and I don't care if they don't find it fun. I don't want to be their friend.
Well, I tried to double friend you or double like you, but it wouldn't have it. It wasn't having any of it.
Oh, show the love, show the appreciation.
It just took me back to being a child when Grease came out, actually, and it kind of livened up the whole family atmosphere because there was three girls with parents that were slightly older, so you know they were quite sort of regimented and routine, and there wasn't that much sense of fun. And it suddenly changed our whole household because we just thought, oh, we'll just do our own thing. And it was great. I loved it. It's great.
Well, I remember for like one of my birthdays a few years ago, it was like a Wednesday night, and I'd just left the second husband and I was living on my own with the kids, and I didn't really want a big thing, so I invited all the girls over, and Mamma Mia 2 had just come out, so we went to the cinema to watch that. It was hilarious. There was about 12 of us, and I didn't care what the cinema thought. We all sang our hearts out. We probably had a little chair dance in our chairs, and we had a great time. It was fun personified.
And that brings me to listeners who would say, it's all real talking about fun, but how can I have fun in my day? You know, I don't have fun, or I'm not a fun person. And there is research to suggest that having fun is genetic. So whether we pass that on to our children, or whether it's nature or nurture, who knows? It might be because if we create fun when our children are young, they then create fun for their families too. Who knows? That's irrelevant. But when you talk about, you know, that feel-good factor of movies that you've watched, how can listeners have fun? So I created a list. I'm good at lists, being a strategist.
How many things are on the list? Let's just clarify that first.
Well, yesterday we had 15, today we've only got 10.
Okay. Well, I probably have got a bit of a list myself, so let's just go with yours. Go with it.
I could leave a few out.
No, I'll inject some comments in here.
I just say what's on the list and you ramble on like yesterday. That's normally what happens. I say something and then you do the rambling.
Honestly, we're such a good duo. Let's go.
Okay, number one, write a list of what you had fun doing as a child and try and reconnect with that child. Some of those aspects. Sorry.
No, I'm keeping quiet now. Carry on. That was a great one.
Number two, devote time to having fun. So actually create time in the day. If you've got this busy, chaotic life, 2 parents working at home in lockdown, 4 children at home, whatever it is, and you're busy, just say to the kids, do you know what, between this hour, 2 and 4 o'clock, we're going to have fun. And why don't you go and write the list of what you want to do to have fun, bearing in mind you can't go outside the front gates.
Hold on. Carry on.
Do I stop or do I carry on? Like 2 instructions in once. I'm not at once.
Just got people making a lot of noise in the background, but carry on.
Okay, the next one is think of yourself as 2 people. You're the adult and you're the child. And the adult is saying, get the jobs done, do the work, shut the children up, create silence in the house. And then think of the child. What would the child within you rather do? And remember who you are, because at certain times we have to be the adult. And that's a good lesson for you and I, Jo. We need to probably be the adult a bit more at times. But also for some people that are more the adult than the child, to create awareness.
Yes, find your inner child. Yes, I agree. Next one, I'm trying to be as quiet as I can.
Or find your inner adult.
Okay, carry on. That's boring.
Exercise is fun. Make it fun.
Well, absolutely. And one of the biggest things I say to people is if you're not going to enjoy what you're doing, you're not going to stick to the exercise regime. So find something that you actually enjoy doing, like hula hooping. It's great. Anyway,
What
carry
other
on.
advice can you give to listeners for people that think exercise is just deadly? They want to lose weight, they would love to exercise, but they just hate the thought of it. And maybe they've done exercise at school which was painful for them. You know, if we're big breasted, it's really hard to run, and being told to do cross country is a hard thing to do, and it would put people off for life. I chose to do sit down sports, so I chose rowing, and I did rowing for many years only because I wanted to sit down. I didn't want to be up running or doing anything, so I chose a sit down sport. How can we make it fun?
Well, let's face it, I mean, obviously during lockdown, that's a little bit difficult doing team sports, but if we weren't in lockdown, there's many team sports, there's martial arts, there is going to the actual gym and lifting weights, you could go for a walk, you could go for a run, you can put music on and dance around the house. What better way to exercise and to inject fun into your life all in one big whammy? There's about 1 million things on YouTube that you can watch. There's about 1 million things on Instagram you can watch for inspiration. You can do yoga, you can do Pilates, you can do body weight exercises, resistance training, strength training. Just find something that resonates with you, whatever you want to do.
Well, so you said to me the other day, you could even do exercises with a baked bean tin. You can lift them as weights. And I was fascinated whether you were going to use those big catering packs or little tins that were empty. Yeah.
Each to their own.
Create exercise, make it fun. Make work fun. How can you make work fun? That's the next one. Because a lot of us spend a lot of time every day at work. Work is a means to an end. You earn a salary. It's a purpose. You're helping people. Whatever you're doing at work, can you make it fun?
Nice. Well, we definitely make our work life fun because we can, but I do understand that. But even like I have got another job, I go and do accounts somewhere, and accounts doesn't sound very fun. I sit at my desk and laugh quite a lot at myself a lot of the time as well, but I make it fun.
Well, I was chatting to a friend yesterday who was having business meetings at home, and somebody suggested they have a weekly newsletter, and he said, oh, can we have a colouring page at the back? He said, I don't think many people laugh, but again, you can create a sense of fun, can't you? You know, you can make people laugh, and why not have an adult colouring page at the back, actually?
Absolutely. My sister as well, she's crazy. She's got a team of about, I don't know, 11 or 15 people underneath her. She's got this quite high-powered job, whatever. And she kind of does crazy things, like she might strut into a meeting like that. She might dance her way into the meeting, or she does like a really weird, funny walk, you know, like Basil Fawlty or something. And her team just kind of look at her and like raise their eyes because they, oh, it's just Jill, you know, she's over in Australia. They're quite a lot of them Australian. Jill's English. They just think, oh, she's the English mad woman kind of thing. But they all respect it. They enjoy going to the meetings because they know there is going to be that element of fun there. Yeah, there's loads of serious things to talk about, but we can do that while doing funny walks as well.
Absolutely, and people might roll their eyes, but actually it changes the atmosphere. Laughter and fun changes an atmosphere. And you might walk into a meeting room where there's a very negative atmosphere and people pick it up maybe without being aware of it, subconsciously. But then somebody comes in and makes a joke, or they're dancing around like your sister, and it does change that atmosphere.
It does.
Date nights, if you're in a relationship, have fun together. And a date night doesn't always look like having dinner out and a drink. It could be going to a theme park when you're not on lockdown, very clearly. It could be going to play paintball or something, do something children might do. But in lockdown at home, maybe have a night where you just say to kids, look, if they're teenagers, just go into a teenage room, because your mum and I, your dad and I, your partner and I actually want to have some fun. We want to have a date night in the house. We're going to create it and we're going to have some fun in the house. But you kids have got to go to your own room, do your own thing, watch a movie by yourself. But we're going to have a date night. Inject fun into your relationship, even in lockdown.
Here. And that's in all relationships as well, as you say. It's with your partner, but also with, as you said earlier, with your children, with your friends, with your family. Inject fun into most relationships.
I like date. Do you like date nights?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't very keen. That wasn't very. I thought we were going to go, yeah, they're great, but you're kind of, yeah. I love date nights.
They are great.
I love them.
Okay, carry on. Next one.
Befriend a fun person.
We did each other.
True though, we were talking yesterday, weren't we, when we were doing thought patterns, we were talking about negative people, positive people, the energy that's around them, and what we absorb, and how draining it is to be around somebody that's constantly complaining. And another friend phoned this morning and said, Sue, your talk really resonated, because I've got lots of friends I surround myself with that have that negative energy.
there's nothing better than that one friend that you can actually cry laughing with quite a lot. Is that, and you know, you do have, as we said, you have friends for different purposes, don't you? You sometimes have your go-to friend for problems, you have your friend for maybe going out on girls' nights and whatever, you know, your friends that you meet up with the children. There's different friends for different parts of your life, but there is always that there's always one or two people in your life that you know you're gonna have tons of fun with whenever you meet up.
Yeah, and I think
that's so important.
Absolutely. And I think if you're listening to this thinking, well, I am actually that negative person, I haven't actually got much to say that's positive, and I do feel like I bring people down, then I think a good thing to realize is that the fun people often have as many struggles as you do in your day, but they choose, and again, it's a choice, they're aware, and they choose to not talk about the negative things and to choose to focus on those positive things and only talk about them. But it doesn't mean that the fun people have less adversity or conflict in their life and the negative people have much more suffering. It doesn't mean that at all. Often the people that have faced great suffering and adversity can be the people that are more fun, because they've just realized life is so short and they've had a loss of a child, you know, something tragic has happened to them, and they've had to come to a place to create a different life out of the suffering.
Totally.
Oh, you're very good at nodding and agreeing. Hang out with a kid. That's my last one. Hang out with a kid.
Absolutely. Maybe not a screaming one, but fun one, yeah.
Your kids are fun to hang out with, aren't they?
My kids are crack up. I love them. Like, they all have wicked sense of humour. I love that about them. And obviously they got it from me.
They also have a sense of craziness, that they're not just going to stick to the rules. I mean, they do stick to the rules, but there's a kind of sense of real independence in there. They're their own characters. They're not going, well, it's not that they're not going to. They don't conform to this sort of structured idea of what a child looks like and the stereotype path they're going to walk on. They are just unique, and they are who they are. And that's such a lovely quality. Sometimes we try and knock that out of our children because they've broken the rules at school and we've got to bring them back in line. But there's something really lovely to be said about the child that rebels or the child that stands out. When I was teaching, I loved those children. I've been in a staff room and meeting in the morning, and bear in mind, I was teaching a lovely subject. I was teaching art and coaching rowing, so I had the nice subjects. But in the staff meetings in the morning, it would be the same names that would come up again and again as being a pain in the backside. And I used to say, but that child is just unique. They are. I would love those children. Absolutely love those children. The ones that were different.
She was describing all four of mine, but that's great. But yeah, no, and it does make a happy home when everybody does have that fun aspect in them, and it's great. So yeah, and you know, like while we're on lockdown, like yesterday for instance, I did a conference call with my mum in the UK and my sister in Australia, and we're just generally a bit stupid on the phone. We pull faces, we might put those silly filters on our faces. Like one day mum and my stepdad Roy phoned me and they had beards and a hat and glasses. It was hilarious. And you know, just stupid things, but inject fun and silliness and what was it, be playful, be boisterous, be daft. There's this little quote: life is too short to worry about what others say or think about you, so have fun and give them something to talk about.
That's good. I like that.
It's so good, and it's so true, and we can inject fun anywhere. You're right, in work, in play, at home, on date nights with our children, with our partners, with our parents, with our siblings. Try to have fun. Put on some clips on YouTube of some comedy. Pee yourself laughing. What better thing to do? Michael McIntyre talking about toddlers, hilarious.
Talking about hotels, hilarious. He's so good, isn't he?
Talking about people's names.
That's a very funny one, because I say
Sarah.
He's hilarious. I say those names now and I'm not quite sure how to say them, and I kind of say it with 3 different accents. He's hilarious. He's so
yeah, there's oodles of way to have fun. So if you need any tips, just give me into a call. We'll make you laugh.
I like this quote by George Bernard Shaw. He says, we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing.
Oh my goodness, that absolutely just is so perfect, so fitting, so poignant, and so true. And on that, I think we should shut up and let our listeners go.
Oh, can I just say one more thing?
Okay.
It's okay. I feel like you've just had enough now, Jo.
Of course you can. I'm only joking. That's why I do the fun.
I've actually lost my train of thought now. On that note of having fun,
That's
what are we
okay.
talking about tomorrow?
I don't know, and I don't care. It's a surprise.
You always say that. When you don't know the answer, you always say it's a surprise. We have got an interview this afternoon with the most extraordinary guy I've ever met. Mark, won't say his surname. And he is a quadriplegic after a surfing accident about 7 years ago. His mindset is extraordinary. What he's doing with his life is mind-blowing. So don't forget to like our page on Facebook, Pods with Posh and Paul. Don't forget to, what do you do on the podcast? Subscribe. Don't forget. Leave us
subscribe and leave us a 5-star review.
Write us a review on iTunes. That'd be amazing, actually, because then that boosts the algorithms. I'm not quite sure about algorithms, but I quite like the word.
I like that word too. It's really good to get your tongue around it, isn't it?
Well, if you don't stutter on it, algorithms. I wouldn't mind my middle name being Algorithm.
Sue Algorithm O'Callaghan.
Yeah, but then you can, because I know algorithms change the whole time, so it's kind of gives me an excuse for all this different behaviour display. Anyway, like our page. If you subscribe, obviously you get the podcasts as they're being released. At the moment, we're releasing one a day through lockdown for 30 days. We also have special guests coming on. So we've had the headmaster of a local school talking about what it's like to close the school overnight, cafe owner, what it's like for his staff and customers to close the cafe overnight. We've got a local counsellor coming on board, maybe this afternoon. We have some exciting people next week coming on board. So it's not only Jo and I just chatting away. Sometimes it's much more exciting because we have a guest on board and you don't have to listen to both of us. So lovely to see you today. Have a great day. Create lots of fun in your life and inspire others in doing so.